them knowing that they are of both cultures and to get both sides to understand each other. That's interesting. And I love that his friend pointed out that I look at you as just Indian. That shows Indian culture. Maybe everyone won't think like the best friend, but that just shows how accepting they are.
Yeah, yeah, so, yeah. I didn't see nothing wrong with this one. I think everybody had great points, but I did love the fact that he said it's about bridging the gap.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Yes.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Spectrum is a social experiment that explores the diversity of perspective that exists within a shared identity. The opinions expressed by the cast are not the opinions of Google, YouTube, or Jubilee. Thanks for watching.
It's sad to say what I'm going to say. We don't matter right now.
So I like India because I have the outlook of a Nigerian, but I have the inside personality of an Indian too. And be my true authentic self is what makes me happy living here.
In order to make activism work, you need to have the backbone of other people, not only black people.
So you find it easy to date?
It's easy to date.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Tell me more.
Me Roslyn ahe.
Peter.
Myrie.
Joshua.
Deidre.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಾಮನಾಥ್ ನಾನು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
Yes, people question me every day of my life, but this is definitely home.
India is one of the world's oldest civilizations, dating back to roughly 2500 BC. The country is best known for its spice, textile, and entertainment industries, which are influenced by India's 2,000 different ethnic groups. But out of a population of close to 1.4 billion people, only about 60,000 are of African descent.
Did he say 1.4 billion people?
Billion.
Yo, like we seen the maps go out, like people say 1 point something million. This our first time hearing the B's come out in the population.
Right. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot.
The first black people arrived in India from Africa during the 4th century, some as slaves and others as merchants. By the 16th century, many of the free Africans served as warriors and rulers, but those enslaved remained as outcasts with low status. Their descendants, a tribal community known as the cities, continue to live in the forest to this day.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We brought together a spectrum of black people, from mixed race individuals to natives to expats, to learn about their culture, community, and the black experience in India. I find it easy to make friends in India. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. It's half.
You find it easy to find friends? Yeah, I've always found it easy to make friends. I'm a people's person. I just go up to them and speak to them.
For me, when I try to make friendship, they'll just go away. They said, you are something different from us. We can't trust you. That's what they say. So I feel, no, it's not that easy to make friendship.
I think everyone in this room will agree. Everyone has faced the same thing. But I think I kind of use that to my advantage. And I go in with a particular perspective that I know I'm different. And that is why you probably should be friends with me.
I like it.
When I was still home,
I used to read about India because I loved India even when I was young. I wanted to come and study here. So I used to read about India. I knew some things here and there. From observation, most of those that are open-minded once lived outside. And then they come, so they've met other people.
I feel like it's hard to make friends because you already know the idea they have of you because they literally use stereotypes and perceptions. I've had like moments where I have been approached like by Indians, and the first thing they assume is like I'm from Nigeria, which is like, okay, it's not bad. Like Nigeria is a country, but at least try and ask me where I'm from.
Yeah.
When people ask you that question of just assuming you're from Nigeria, probably you got to understand that that's the only thing they know, right?
Right.
They're ignorant, so you got to approach that with sometimes with a little bit of empathy.
I hear what he's saying, that sometimes people are stuck in what they know and that's it. But how much nailing and hammering you got to do into a person's mind for them to break that shell, to have an open mind about you and where you come from? And I feel that's why a lot of them disagree.
Yeah, I feel like, especially when you haven't, we've heard things about, people who come from certain countries in Africa, but we haven't experienced those things. And unconsciously, you hold on to what you heard, although it's not your truth.
Yeah.
You
just got that just in case, like, you know what I'm saying? Information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like when, African immigrants, they don't even sound right. But when people from different countries in Africa come to America and they have negative experiences with African Americans, they'll hold on to that like all of African Americans are like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like that.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
While to understand that not everybody is that educated or well-traveled to know everything.
You don't have to travel to know things.
Not everyone knows everything, right?
But not everybody has the privilege also.
If you take my friends, for example, like my school friends, initially we were in school, we obviously had altercation and stuff like that. But now, today, it's because of me that they can see it through my lens and look at other people of color differently.
Yep.
Isn't that a win? I think it's a win.
It is a win.
My name is Peter Mukamanuel. My mother is Indian. My dad's Nigerian.
Ooh.
I was born in Nigeria, and then we came to India with my mother, my sister,
beautiful.
and me. So my sister Rosalind and I, we're really
that's
close.
his sister.
For sure.
Oh, his sister.
Even though she's the older one, I've always been the protective one. Growing up, I didn't want to accept that I'm Nigerian. Everyone around school and stuff look a particular way. And then you're picked on, or you're tried to be picked on because of the way you look.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
Making friends in school, initially it was tough.
To me, you've always been like Indian, we don't think about stuff like that. I've never looked at you as direct Hindi mein ya jo bhi hai. That's how we speak. That's how we speak, right? When you see you,
correct,
right? Obviously you look different, and different is not bad. And then you start talking to him like hey, what the fuck, dude? You're just like the rest of us.
Neville Irani has been one of my closest friends since I was a kid. The good side of being black came to me from sports, right?
Yeah.
I just got all the attention because of that. As I grew up, I think I got more interested in my culture because I felt like if there is something so different about me, which I am not seeing and the world is, there has to be something there. So I started digging deeper, and I think a part of me started accepting being from there because that is who I am.
Another thing that I really noticed about the group is the more they disagree, the less of their accent they had of an Indian. And I said it like that because he's the only one that strongly agreed, and he sound more of the tongue. He's like almost raised there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mom's Indian, best friend is Indian. He sounds Indian.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
For him, what I hear is bridging the gap.
Yeah, I love it though.
Yeah,
100%.
Helping people to understand both sides. That is really interesting, and I'm glad that his sister is on here because she may have different, perspectives being from the same family of Nigerian and Indian.
Amazing.
That
amazing. Yeah.
Look, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and it also brings a stereotype too because when Indians see him with other Indians, they instantly think, you know, maybe black people aren't bad. Maybe they are accepting, and we need to give them a chance. But they still, you know, they play it by ear and whatnot. So just being visual with that image is a good thing.
Yeah, that it kind of reminds me of, you know, my cousins who are white and black. You know, just understanding both sides and just them. Not everybody will have this perspective, but them knowing that they are of both cultures and to get both sides to understand each other. You know, that's interesting. And I love that his friend pointed out that I look at you as just Indian. You know, that shows Indian culture. Maybe everyone won't think like the best friend, but that just shows how accepting they are.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I didn't see nothing wrong with this one. I think everybody had great points, but I did love the fact that he said it's about bridging the gap.
Yes.
That's powerful.
India is hard for me.
Dating in India is hard for me. Okay.
1.
Wow.
They don't know.
Yeah. Dating, no?
Dating. So you disagree.
Yes.
So you find it easy to
It's
date in
easy
India?
to date.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow.
You're the
Okay.
same person who said
Tell me
your
more.
friendship was...
If you're really
Right.
trying to understand them, and if our ideology is like similar, then it's easy to.
So you are saying if you approach a woman who you really like,
Yeah. So
and
if,
she's
if,
okay.
If she agree, what I believe.
No.
Does she agree?
No. Look, let me rephrase.
Okay.
This is how you look. This is a woman, possibly an Indian looking woman, okay? You are interested in her, okay? You approach her and
Dating
she
cannot
will
be from
speak.
one side, right?
No, listen, it can be from all sides, but right now,
But he has a,
No.
he has a point there.
Yeah.
He has a point there. Dating can't be from one side.
One side.
It can.
See, I can
Yes.
like anything,
Yeah.
but I can't get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if she agree, then we can date.
No, has that happened to you? Like, is it
Definitely, yeah,
when you approach someone? Has it been smooth?
He said he don't have no problems in the dating department.
That's it, straight up. Y'all gotta respect that. My man got pulled.
He said, I can't make the friends, but I can date the women.
And that's a different ballpark. Like really it is. It's like if you really want to be friends with somebody, you're asking to be welcome into all type of level aspects of life. All their good things, bad things like this. But you want to just date a chick, it's just between you and her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But friendships is like you, your friend, blah, 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 everybody.
Ooh, you know what?
What?
I remember being in grade school.
You almost
right?
made me say, girl.
That is how we be talking, y'all. Like, that's my best friend. But I remember in school, right? And I was fortunate to have friends of all races. And I remember having this friend. Her family was not accepting of her even being friends with black people.
Okay.
So you know dating was out the picture.
Facts.
But she had a black boyfriend.
She can't help what she like.
That was a crazy dynamic. That's some crazy stories.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. But
so
let's get into it though. Yeah, my man got pulled. He said,
If she really likes me or like my personality, then she can agree. So we can have it.
I think I get what he's saying. He's talking about the process that once you'll get to know each other, dating a person from in the Indian culture, whether there's like a blend and whether it's easy to keep a woman happy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's saying.
No, so how
Why she
often
can't?
has that
Because I
happened?
have everything which other people have. When I approach an Indian woman, definitely there are some women who really likes me because my personality. Because when they get to know about me, that struggle which I have to come off this level, then they really agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
wow.
My name is Ramnath Siddhi. I'm from India,
Yeah, he's
the
just
south
the
part
native.
of India, Karnataka. Siddhis are a tribe community in India. So we are all living in the forest.
This is up.
From the childhood, from the 6 years old when we start the school, I was walking through the forest for 4 kilometers to see the school. It was a really a tough time for me. I'm the first person who got a postgraduate in a community. I work as a therapist But when I come to city, it is a difficult life for me because the people look at me in a different way because I looks like African, but still I'm Indian. So I feel so lonely when the people look at me in a different way. I feel all the time very comfortable living in the forest rather than the city because there is no discrimination, there is no different.
I've never actually.
We are so universal when it comes to being black. Like, we can be, like, you can see like a white dad, a white mom, black mom get together and their child looks black, but she still has the genetics of a white person, you know what I'm saying? Same with Indians, same with all other cultures. It's just that the dominance of being black sticks out more, but we're still who we are, depending upon where we come from. That's universal, bro.
That
That's
is
big.
universal. Now, I've seen some, the opposite, and I'm like,
But I ain't seen albinos.
yeah,
You know what I'm
you'll
saying? I'm
still
like,
see the features.
how, like,
Yeah.
you know, amazing.
Yeah, that's some beautiful genes. But
Yeah.
just looking at the sibling duo, I would have never guessed that they had an Indian mom. I would never guessed.
Right,
you know?
right.
But I love their complexion, especially the younger one back
Right
there.
here?
No, not the girl, the guy back
Oh,
there.
he
you can
got yet to
tell.
speak, yeah.
You can tell he's biracial.
Mm-hmm.
Even thought about dating Indian men.
Why?
Because for me personally, I feel like they would say no. And like coming from their background and the caste system, which is also very, very strict, I feel dating outside their race is something that most of them don't actually even think of. They're mostly like...
You've never been approached?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You mean to say that you never tried?
I don't want to try.
Okay. Then no.
That's it. That's all. Straight up. Nothing wrong with that. See,
So for
when
me,
a
like-
woman is always going to be a flower in the field that needs to be picked. You know what I'm saying? And she's expected to be picked. And when if a guy shows no interest in her, then a lot of times sometimes they think something might be wrong with them. Or she just thinks that from what I see, they just don't have no interest.
All right.
That's it.
But again, it seems like she's okay with that.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, me speaking personally, that's never been a thought for me. You know? and you sit here as my husband talking about something.
Okay.
No, but
That's
like
hard,
seriously,
see. I feel that.
I've just, I don't know. Even from a little girl, it was never a thought.
I think you knew your worth early.
My worth.
You,
I knew
and
my
you
worth
wasn't
too,
expecting, you know what I'm saying, whether they did or did not, you didn't look for that to be a issue within your growth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like having that like on your Instagram picture. Some people need that like to feel liked, but some people need, and other women need that approach or that, ooh, girl, you look good, to feel loved or liked. You know what I'm saying? But some other women just don't need none of that to feel it. You know what I mean? They know they got it already.
And I guess I knew what I wanted my family to look like.
Oh, it looks just like how you want it to too, babe. I'm just saying.
What she said, you have like these Indians approach you, you start talking, and then I don't think they even care about you inside or who you are. I'm not the person that's like, no, I can't be with an Indian, I can't be. No, I like people for who they are as human beings. So I give
nice,
people
man.
a chance to like get to know them.
I have been told, especially by my female friends, that I don't know, there's this perception that people think that every black woman is good at sex.
Yeah.
So
That's why I said another thing.
Yeah.
So
That should know
obviously,
for us.
most people who've been approached by Indian guys, it's just been all about that, not even about like a long-term relationship.
Most of the time, their approach is always intimacy at the start.
Yeah, but then you give this person a chance, and before it even goes anywhere left, they're already talking about everything that they think black women do.
I somewhat agree. There was once where one guy said, yeah, we can date, but no one needs to know.
Wow.
I'm not
So,
no secret.
a few years later, I met my husband who actually likes black women.
Oh.
Like, he specifically said that to his
Wow.
friend, if you want to gift me something, give me your African girlfriend.
Wow.
And she actually said, okay, fine, done. And he was like, no, I was kidding. How are you going to do that? Well, he didn't know that she knew me through work. And she arranged for us to meet, and that's how we met.
In my case, it's been difficult to date in India because most of the men which I have approached or have approached me objectify me a lot. They see me as a black person and, okay, I might be dangerous, I might be a criminal or
and other
something.
things.
So hence I get denied on spot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day also sometimes it always comes back to how I look.
Wow.
Now I think he biracial. Let's see if I'm right.
Namaste, kaise? My name is Joshua Okesalako.
He's a
I'm
native.
25 years old. My mom's Indian and my dad's from Nigeria. So when I moved to India, I was around 8 or 9 years old. I wasn't allowed to play certain sports because of my height difference and my color. For certain plays, I couldn't do certain plays and roles and musicals and stuff.
He wasn't allowed to play sports because of his height?
That's what he said? That's what he said?
I have never heard that. Here is like the complete opposite. They want you even more.
What is the height ratio with Indians?
I honestly don't know. What is he too tall?
Yeah, is there none over
Wait, hold
6
up.
foot?
I remember we watched a movie. Was that India with the boy who ran and he just kept running and kept running? I think he had a disability. I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. But
Indian movies be going crazy.
Enlighten
They be going
us.
hard. Yeah, that's different. I thought y'all would want, anybody would want, someone that's
Maybe
athletic
they felt like
ability.
he was a threat.
Yeah,
Like
intimidated.
you too much. Mm-mm.
Yeah. The star has arrived.
Up in school, being excluded from playing certain things or doing certain things made me feel alone most of the time. It was maybe like an outcast at times. The hardest part of living in India is being different from everybody else. I'm black and I'm queer, and they think black people are supposed to be really strong and macho and all, and I'm a mix of both. I work as a model and actor over here for the past 10 years now.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's nice, but it also has this downside part where, like, they can be mean and nasty with the words they say, but at the end of the day, it's you who has to look out for yourself, at times. And that kind of made me stronger in that way.
I like the dark ones.
The dark ones are better.
I feel free to practice activism around
Let's
black
see.
issues in
What are
India.
the black issues in
3,
India?
2, 1.
In order for you to protest and rally and participate in all these things, we actually need to feel that we have the right to do so. Let me give an example of, this famous, like the recent Black Lives Movement for Breonna Taylor and George Floyd.
Floyd, yeah.
You could actually see that when the black people in America were protesting, they were actually being backed by so many politicians, by people from other races, like the entire world. On Instagram, Twitter, everybody was posting about Black Lives Matter. Everyone was saying that enough is enough. And I feel like in order to make activism work, you need to have the backbone of other people, not only black people.
Honestly speaking, we are not the majority. We are a very, very
We are smaller than a minority.
handpicked
Minority.
Yeah. Take, for example, in the whole of Mumbai, growing up, I only knew my brother as another black guy. So that's how insignificant it is here.
We do have racism when it comes to black and Africans. But I always differentiated between casual racism, right, and hate racism. In India, we don't, at the moment, have hate racism to an extent where people are being murdered.
We actually
Right?
do.
I'm talking about in numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in America, right?
Black
It's
men,
happening every day.
always getting shot.
So it gets
Not
to a
just
point where you can't take.
Not just men, women as well, and children.
And babies. Yeah.
So I understand what she's saying. There are a minority there. When you look at the numbers, we are a minority here as well. Just not like in India. But I feel like because we've played a significant... This country was built on our backs. Okay? So that's why... And I'm grateful for the work that our the people before us has done, because although we were oppressed, still oppressed, just not as much. But although, we've dealt with that, our voices, we've always raised our voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not imagine being in a society where I couldn't speak up for my people. But I also understand, like, if they're not dealing with it there, it's not their problem.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's very sensible.
And
but it makes more clear sense how everybody can use social media for whatever they are
other ways
to make it more public, but you can't take it off the internet and say, hey, I'm gonna stand up for this publicly. You know what I'm saying?
In India, where they live.
It's just it's kind of like it's a conflict in itself.
Yeah, because we did see, people around the world taking it to their streets, although it wasn't happening there, as much as it's happening here, or in different ways. Here, like y'all saw what just happened with Tennessee. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Enough, right? Here, like you said, it's happening, right? But how many people know about it?
Yeah.
Because it happens once. Yeah, exactly. Because we don't have
talks about
numbers.
it.
Nobody talks about it.
Nobody talks about it because it's not been highlighted.
We are not. It's sad to say what I'm going to say. We don't matter right now.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
We don't matter.
That's the hard fact.
Yeah.
There, they matter because the people, the
They have
black lives that
ancestors.
are fighting for black lives over there come from power. Like, again, I repeat myself, the people who are protesting, even when it comes to even Twitter or whatever, are people like Beyonce and people who have power in the world.
Yes.
I feel like that's not really true, because if you follow all these movements, the people who've actually led the movements are actually people my age.
True.
People in university.
100%.
The person who recorded George Floyd's death was a girl
100%.
my age.
Yes.
It was not Beyonce.
I know.
She's the one who posted it on social media. And you're saying that how many deaths compared to America here? We don't need black people to die for people to realize that we don't have to be treated in a bad way.
Oh, I love her points. Okay, so yeah, she is right, but he's also right as well. She's right. The person who filmed, that was social media, and we just pushed it that way.
Yeah, everybody's social media these days.
We started sharing it. It's just like all of the other murders that happened on live. And we just all pushed it. But it does take voices like Beyonce, our state representatives, and all those people to push it. And people with big platforms to push it for more people.
That's always key.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you have like a major platform and you have that ability and that freedom to push, issues on social media, you can make a bigger impact than someone just trying to do it themselves. Or the mass little group that's been doing it try to do it themselves. I think a bigger platform will always make more noise.
Right. And 100%. We work together,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel I could not imagine living in a society where I could not publicly speak up. And although it's not racism like we deal with here with hate crimes and things like that, I wouldn't be able to ignore being treated badly in a society. I can't live there.
Yeah, he had made a mention about it's not about us, or it don't matter.
They don't matter. Black people don't matter.
I think regardless of, what I'm saying, where the crime is being displayed, what's happening, that you can't sweep stuff under the rug for so much, because eventually people are gonna start to trip over that.
Right.
Literally, the pile of stuff that we have swept under the rug and hidden from society, people would slowly begin to fall and trip over that, and it's just how it be.
That's just like the Asian hate crimes that we have here.
This is not an Asian country. This is America, but
we
the
still
Asian
stand
law.
For those people.
There's a law for Asians. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for minorities.
So
we still stand up for those people, regardless if we're, regardless if it's our issue. Because at the end of the day, look at Bernie Sanders. We need allies. Everybody needs allies. People to stand up for us, because if other people continue to look at things like it's not my problem, and I'm kind of going to a whole nother level, like it's not my problem, racism will continue. You know? Whew, Jesus.
Yeah, that was she did have good points.
Yeah, she did.
I want to say something. I think at the end of the day, regardless of what race is being targeted, people need to stand up for what's right.
For what's right.
That's it. And if they are all the way in India and they're trying to voice what's right, but the people are saying this is not our problem, this is not our fight. We know what's happening, but we don't want to voice. We don't want you guys to talk, but don't put that out there in the streets right now. Like at the end of the day, y'all still need to have some voice about what's going on, regardless of what group of people is being targeted.
Right, and that's like just with us, you know, preparing to travel abroad, and a lot of our supporters are saying, "Oh, come here," but we're hearing, you know, some of our black supporters who live there is like, "Don't come here. You're gonna deal with this." I don't want to go somewhere where I'm gonna be treated badly. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a human. I look at other people as humans. At the end of the day, you're a human. I'm judging people by their character. But I don't want to be treated badly because of the color of my skin. Especially because I already deal with this in America. I don't want to travel abroad and knowing that I'm going to have a target on my back just because I'm a black woman.
Yeah, it's like the table need to be set to where if all people can sit there, no matter who talks about what, we all should be able to stay. Right. And talk about it without someone getting up because it's not their fight.
Whew. Yeah. Lord, this heavy. This is heavy one, y'all.
Yeah, that was a good point. It made everybody right up a little bit.
I came here a bit young. My mom got posted here via a government job. She was sent to serve as the High Commissioner to Zambia in India. So nice. I have been staying in India for 5 years. I am pursuing my studying law at Galgotius University in Uttar Pradesh. Coming from Africa, we are definitely into our culture, and that's something I noticed about like the Indians. They are very proud of their dressing, their food. People from here still like keep their culture and love it the same way we do back home. Is something that I admire. It's been very difficult, like getting to be part of the Indian community and as well.
I'm gonna let her talk. I'm so sorry for pausing, but I just want to make a mention that they say that it's hard to build relationships. If they knew where you come from and how the culture that you have been raised in was so strict, sided, and loyal, just like how yours is, that shouldn't be no problem. Like the loyalty should always be there when you see where you come from. You know.
The black community, because there's no acceptance for you, because in the Indian community it's like, oh, you're light, but you're not that like light for us to perceive you as light skin and stuff like that. And in the black community, people think that when you're like a black person who's light skinned, then you have it better than others, when that's not actually true.
Speak on it, girl.
I have experienced colorism in India. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go, baby.
Wow.
What is that?
But Indians come in different shades.
But you gotta understand though, like I forgot where I was riding at, but it was a college campus, and oh my God, I ain't seen no white person, I ain't seen no black person. I seen Indians, by the mass majority. And I was being looked at as if I was in the wrong neck of the woods, yo. Like, they was stopping and everything. Beautiful people. But they looking at me as if...
They're trying to see what you're doing.
Sir, you lost? No, I'm just passing through. So, yeah, I colorism. Just because the tone is there. Just, you know,
But is it the same like what we deal with in the black community? Because I've seen dark-skinned Indians, I've seen light-skinned Indians.
Let's see what they say.
Thing that you're disagreeing with, like, slightly.
It happens a lot with me. I am always judged based on my color. When I went for an interview, they said, hey, you're too black to
get the job.
Yeah. So that is why I would strongly disagree. And why I said I was just being too kind, also I do agree, and is because sometimes not everybody is like this, you know.
I see what you're saying. I was doing that earlier.
It's a two-way thing. Like
I've struggled with this, like to see this, but when it comes to colorism, why I say in India it's so prevalent is it doesn't even boil down to where you're from, right? Now, what ethnicity you are or whatever. Because from childhood, I've been here since I was a kid, right? So in the same school I went to, even I was called Kalia, and even another Indian kid who's probably from the south was called Kalia. So there was no difference, you know what I'm saying?
Meaning is the same.
It's the same.
The thought is different.
Oh no, trust me, when you're a child, that time for them it's the color, because from childhood there have been things like you hear a mother tell the daughter, like don't play in the sun, you'll get dark.
Yeah, it's really
It does
bad.
impact, because for me also it has impacted when I was growing up. Before I got into modeling and stuff, I was always shy to be in front of the camera. I never ever took pictures. Didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. Tried all this fairness cream and all this stuff just so I could change my skin color. But I think growing up has made me realize, like, what's the use? You just embrace yourself. And melanin is good. At least, hey, we have some better melanin here.
True.
So I'm happy with it.
Me personally,
The trauma
That's
that
that's
this
the word.
young man
That's the word I had
has
in my
gone
head.
through.
Trauma.
You're too dark.
You're
You
too
can't
tall.
get the job. You can't play the sports.
You're
What
too
the
nice.
hell?
Yeah. Yeah, he went through a lot. He went through a lot, man.
growing up, I went through a phase where I never dated anyone because I had that in me that I'm black, I'm not beautiful, no one will date me. So the first time I even dated someone, I was at the age of 28. So you can imagine the impact it has on you growing up.
Rosalind, 28.
My name is Rosalind Manuel Fernando. I'm a makeup artist and a hairstylist. When was the last time I did your makeup? I don't know. 10 years back? 10 years?
But
Are
they're
you
so
kidding
nice.
me?
They're so nice. They're nice people, y'all.
They
Literally,
are.
I have encountered with nice Indians. They're very nice people.
Yeah.
Man, beautiful souls.
We've
like,
only had one encounter that was messed up.
well, I don't know. My pastor in that neighborhood was a little.
Oh,
I wish I had tinted windows that day.
I was talking about what happened over the summer
We'll talk about it.
when she cursed you out and didn't know I was right there.
Talk about it. Yeah, that was
Can't talk
terrible.
about it.
I'll talk about it.
That was terrible.
Nah, because
really
it was a point where she judged me. She had a terrible assumption about me.
Terrible assumption.
And she scalded at me all in one phrase.
Cursed them out.
All in one phrase, just because she thought something happened that I had no doing or no dealings with. And I'm looking at her like, what are you talking about? And then she quickly jumped on the phone and told everybody. Yo, they all came out quick.
And Sierra came out
I was
too.
like, what the what? And then when my wife heard the noise that she was making, because she was trying to tell me what she thought I did. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I didn't do what you're saying. And she keep talking about it, keep screaming. And then my wife came outside like, what's going on? And she brought it down.
She brought it all the way down. Don't
She
play.
brought it down.
Don't play.
I don't
But
know.
that's
It's
the
like,
only bad experience.
I don't know,
we
because
had.
I'm proud of myself because I didn't give her what she probably thought was supposed to
stereotype.
happen, right? I'm a businessman. I know business. I know how to handle conflicts. I know how to deal with, run-ins, you know what I'm saying, with the people. So I played it smooth and I just spoke. And I'm not the type to argue with no female, period. So I just spoke to her and let her do all the yelling she was doing while I was trying to de-escalate the situation. But then when my wife heard it, yeah, that was another story. That
And
was
let's
crazy.
talk
I
like
forgot
human
about
beings. Yeah, but
Oh, I forgot about
other
that.
than that, like we've had great encounters. Like we are friendly people, so we can talk to anybody, you know. But that negative experience could have tainted our whole perception of Indians, but it has not. And we didn't
never.
allow it to.
Nah, never. And I got an apology.
Yes, because what she did does not
Nah,
mean that all of you are the same.
right.
Always artistic, so I thought makeup would be a good way to educate and that you can look beautiful no matter what skin tone you have. My mom is Indian, my dad was a Nigerian, and growing up I always had very low self-esteem, especially because of my skin color. Sometimes I tell them like, no, I'm born and brought up here. Like, I'm from Mumbai, and they're like, no, your hair, no, It's not possible. Most men would not want to be seen with me. The guy I was dating, his mother actually told him, "You can't marry this girl because you'll have black babies." That's the extent of colorism in India. Okay, where are you going?
On a date?
Oh, I like it. Now I'm married to an Indian and I have twin boys. I really don't know what the future holds for them. I'm sure they will be questioned by their friends in future as to why your mother looks the way she does and y'all don't look anything like her. But the first step that I have taken is to first be comfortable in myself and the way I look.
I feel at home in India.
Good question.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I strongly disagree because, first of all, India is not home, so I'm not even supposed to feel like home. Then, secondly, it gets worse where you're already different, so you're treated different based on how you look. Thirdly, everything, what they believe in, and everything reminds you of how much you're not home, so it's difficult to feel at home wherever you go. My name is Myrie Kalebi. I'm a Zambian who's currently located in India. I'm a student of pharmacy, and India was one of the countries that are well known for medical fields. The school where I went to was really in a remote place, so there were not much Africans. So we'd have some experiences where you're going in the market, you meet the locals, they want some selfies with you, and then they touch your skin to see if like anything is coming out or maybe dust or something like that. Or there are times when someone just pulls your braid and you go back, and then they'll be asking, how long does it take for you to wash your hair? Yeah, that happens a lot. That's when you just tell them, you educate them more about Africa or black women in general. So sometimes it can make you feel bad, but at the same time you feel like, okay, maybe it's because we're just different and unique. That's why they're so anxious and nervous to know more about us.
I do agree that India is my home. This is a small world which I have. There are a lot of other world which hate me. And
you don't feel accepted.
Yeah, I don't think about. Yeah, it may affect me, but when I go to my home, my community, it is my world. So that's why I agree to the
We gotta
India,
learn
my
more about.
home.
I think for someone to actually call it a home, you have to experience good stuff. You have to experience bad things as well. And yeah, I made friends here. I have my family here. So I can call India my home now because I have been here also for quite a long time.
I came during my early...
Let me talk about him. Each time he speak, it makes me sad. This is the mama bear in me coming out. I want him to move. I want him to move. I want him to see another country that's going to treat him right. I know he's a part of the LGB. I don't know all the letters. I'm sorry.
There's a few of them there.
I don't know all the letters.
Okay.
But I know he's a part of that community, and I want him to feel some type of love.
Yeah, that's it.
All I've heard from him, he can't do this, he too dark this, I can't even imagine the trauma. I want him to go somewhere where he could be himself and be free.
Yeah, levels of appreciation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I know he said that he feel at home, but that's not love. That's not love.
Yeah.
Home is supposed to feel love. That's not love.
Yeah.
I've had my family live with me here, so it literally just became a home to me somewhat because I left my home country early, and this has been the second country where I've actually stayed.
Well, I feel this is home because this is the only place I have been. I have my friends, my family. I have started a family here. Yes, people look at me every day of my life. People question me every day of my life. But at the same time, because I speak the local language and I have that many friends, it becomes very easy for me to communicate with people, make friends. So this is definitely home.
been good meeting different black people in India. We all still have like different cultures, religions, things that we believe in, just how they are brought up, how they live, and they get to learn more from you as well, which is just amazing.
It always feels good for me when I feel like I'm African, because that is one of the good things I feel like I'm proud, because anybody can recognize me. I have a different look. I have a black look, which is very beautiful.
You really need to find yourself around the right people. Even if you don't come from the same country, the fact that you come from like similar backgrounds and the same continent, so obviously we do have somewhere where we can actually connect and get to know each other.
I get to see it through their lens. And there are some things that I relate to when we speak. There's some things I don't relate to, even when it is about talking about the same country we're living in.
I have the outlook of a Nigerian, but I have the inside personality of an Indian too. And be my true authentic self is what makes me happy living here.
Yes, it is important to stay confident. You're beautiful. We will always look out for each other and be there for each other. So that's how I look at it now.
This was nice.
Very eye-opening.
Eye-opening indeed.
Yeah, very eye-opening.
Eye-opening indeed. I would love to hear what our Indian supporters have to say. Their perspective. I would like to hear their perspective. I feel like because the community is just so small, as they grow, things will get better. I'm glad that it's not any hate crime.
Yeah,
so glad about
as
that.
the brother mentioned earlier, he says there's really none. Like, I think though, at the end of the day, just how some people do get to experience a level of love no matter where they go, because of who they are, because of their race. You know, you never know. But just like how you are able to experience all these levels of love, don't forget about that when you come across somebody that you are unfamiliar with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that love that you have been receiving should build your heart and have fattened it like a calf at some point to where you just want to love back on somebody.
Right.
And sometimes God put people in your position that you are not comfortable with to do that to. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be eye-opening. You got to have a great memory with this type of things. Yeah, that's what I got to say.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
It's coming. Loading.
I did have a bad experience. So we're not going to talk about that. That's not why we're here.
Everybody have a story.
Because this wasn't India. This was the United States.
But I understand that. But everybody have a story.
Everybody have a story.
And everybody are true to what happened in their lives. And that's just what it is. So
yeah. We would just love to hear your perspectives, especially if you are black in India, if you're Indian, and anybody else's perspective. How do you all feel about this video?
Yes.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way. Our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.